Pillar stance is one of my favorite stances in Black Myth Wukong. It's excellent for certain types of builds, and it's also excellent for regular exploration and fights in bosses, because it's a very defensive stance. So in this video, I'll show you everything that you can do with the pillar stance, some recommendations for the weapons, for the armors that you can have with the pillar stance, and how does the moves that it has work. Because yeah, there's a couple of things that the game doesn't really properly show you that well per se, so I'm in here to show them for you. So what's the gist of everything? The first and foremost, most important thing is going to be like the pillar stance. Whenever you hold heavy attack, it's going to elongate the staff and perch you into that position where you can later on use to perform a heavy attack. It is a very safe stance to use against melee enemies. Just have in mind that when it comes to enemies that attack from a distance, it's not really that great. And what it does essentially is that when you're fighting things that are going to are on the ground level and they cannot reach you, they are going to attack the staff. And then your staff is going to take damage to stamina, not to health. Which is why it's very important for a build that is going to be using the pillar stance as a main thing to have lots of stamina for you to be able to sustain that damage that you are going to get. That's why on Foundation, for example, it is a good idea to take stamina. Also on the Chew Dog, it's also a nice idea to trade some God pills for some stamina if you're using a pillar stance, just because of that fact. It is very useful to use against certain bosses that are not like that big or that huge. They don't have like that huge AoE when it comes to the attacks, or they don't have like range damage. It's very safe to use against them. Now, a lot of things that you're going to be able to do with these stances, for example, heal you while you are perched up on the top of your staff. There is going to be the skylarking on the left side of the skill tree right here. Whenever you have 3 focus points, you can use your gourd whenever you're on top of your perch, whenever you're top on your staff. Now this is not only useful to heal yourself, but also to prepare. For example, there are some soaks that give you a little bit more spell cooldown, or that they give you more damage when you're using your focus points and things like that. So it's a very good idea to use this not only as means of healing, but also for preparation for your soaks. The Towering Mountain is also very useful because whenever you actually deplete your stamina, if you don't have this talent right here, you are going to be knocked down to the ground if they deal enough damage to your stamina, and then it's going to be basically free damage for the enemy. So that's not good, that's not bueno. Now, as for the extra hidden combos that it has, it's like, for example, the Sweeping Gale. Although this is not explained that good, that's why I'm here for you to help you with this. Right here you will see that the animation that you see right there to the right, it's essentially, it allows you to, for example, it's very useful for AoE type of attacks or many enemies that are mobbing you. It is very useful because this also can be enhanced to increase the defense. However, the game doesn't explain properly, and if you attempt to do it, you're essentially just going to perform it, and that's it. Nothing really is going to happen. So, how it works is that while you are performing a light attack combo, you press the heavy attack. However, that is only going to perform one Sweeping Gale. If you hold down the heavy attack, that's what's going to sustain you there spinning rounds. If you improve it with Gale's Blessing, that is going to furthermore give you more defense, meaning that it's going to increase your armor for you to be able to take more damage while you are on that Gale Blessing animation. So it's very useful to use. However, the game doesn't explain properly how to use it. So there you go. And then we have Kerning Gale. Essentially, what this does is that it's a follow-up for the previous attack from the Gale previous attack. While you are doing such a thing, you press the heavy attack once again, and it's going to follow up with this very wide area of attack finisher right here. This can also be furthermore improved by Collapsing Gale, which depletes all of the focus points and deal additional damage based on the points consumed. This is where you're going to have, like, for example, the concession to make. In some instances, it is just going to be a better idea to perch up on your staff and deal damage basically like that. However, sometimes you cannot you don't have time to do so, or maybe you're fighting something that has a distance and you want to have a little bit more of a hyper armor or defense. This is what you should be doing, and it's going to deal tremendous amounts of damage as well. Have in mind, however, that this is best used when you have 4 points, which is just going to count 3 towards it. Now, the armor that I would recommend for you to use, there's many armors, this is not a build video, this is just a little recommendation that I have for you right here, is the long battle armor, and I would advise for you to upgrade this as soon as you can. You can get this on the 3rd chapter of the game by following the regular progress of the story of the game, and you remember that you can upgrade the armor as well. So this is basically going to increase the shock and thunder damage that you are going to deal, and reduce the duration of the shock damage that they deal to you as a debuff to your character. And why do I advise for you to use specifically this armor? Well, specifically for the weapon more than anything, because there's just going to be one weapon that is going to benefit the pillar stance if you're going for a pillar stance build. And that is the mythical golden long staff. This is what is going to enhance the damage that you deal, because if you use a stance heavy attack that costs 3 or 4 focus points, provided that you're using the pillar stance, this is going to deal electric damage to the enemy, meaning that this is going to be furthermore enhanced by the armor. However, this is the mythical golden long staff, and you cannot get this until the 5th chapter of the game. So if you're just using the regular version that you get on the 3rd chapter of the game, then the armor doesn't matter that much, but still, this is going to increase the damage of your pillar stance moves, and this is what I would advise for you to use before you actually get the golden long staff. And that is basically how the pillar stance works, and the best armors and weapons and the stuff that you should be using, and yeah, that's basically how it works. Remember that if you like the content and like and never super appreciate it, not also you today, you're a gorgeous, beautiful person, you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, subscribe to the channel, you're in the Discord, have a beautiful day.